Today on the show, why do guys feel so insecure about being shorter than their girlfriends? We try to help a guy dealing with that very issue.
We address the Star Wars controversy that has set the internet ablaze. That's right, the director of the next Star Wars movie is a moron.
I know nothing about that, but Josh, speaking of Star Wars, are the powers that be intentionally trying to destroy our myths and stories in an effort to destroy our culture? That's the kind of heavy topic that I like, Josh. We're going to discuss that today.
All that and more on episode 35 of the Blimey Cow Podcast.
I haven't had much to say for the music part.
Welcome, everyone, to the Blimey Cow Podcast. Every Friday, we try to make the world a little less messy. My name is Josh.
And I'm Jordan. It's Jordan.
Jordan.
Comment below with your answer to this week's question. This is a simple question, Josh, but it's a controversial question, for me at least. Would you rather have fried eggs or scrambled eggs? Very important question.
I'm not going to say anything.
Fried eggs or scrambled eggs, those are the only ones that you could choose from.
We got a lot of new supporters this week. Thank you to Shadowbender197, First Name Nate, Sean Her, and Ayla, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who became supporters this week at supportblimeycow.com. Now, originally I wrote on our little script that we go off of here at the beginning of the show, that now, as of this week, I would suggest that people actually just wait to become supporters because we are about to make a big switch this month. But honestly, you might want to join because anybody that's getting grandfathered into the switch we're gonna make it worth your trouble.
That's
okay,
true.
so this might actually be a really good time.
That is a good point. Yeah.
If you don't mind having to do an extra step in a few weeks, we'll make it worth your while. So if you've been thinking about joining, support blimeycow.com. If you like what we do, please go check it out. Support blimeycow.com. This is going to be the best year for the Blimey Cow supporter community ever. We have so much planned, and we want to say a huge thank you to everybody who supports us over there.
Yes.
More in the next few weeks.
And guys, do not forget to check out the Clips channel. Okay, we have finally surpassed 800 subscribers. It's everything that you love about the podcast without the time commitment. YouTube.com/BlimeyCowClips. And look, if we get to 1,000, we can make a couple pennies.
All right, finally, check out our online homeschooling community, homeschoolwithus.com. We started it ourselves. For $3 a month, you can homeschool with us too.
Yes.
Love, support, and encouragement on the homeschooling journey are what the site is all about. So head to homeschoolwithus.com to see how you can get 2 months free. Okay, let's get to our top stories. Top story number 1, we got survey results for the survey we asked people to fill out about the podcast.
How did that go, Josh?
It actually went really well, and I'm excited to share it with you. But we're gonna save it for later in the show. But
get that watch time up.
Yeah, get that watch time up. But we do want to say thank you to everybody who filled out the survey, letting us know how you enjoy the show. So in the "It Gave Me Hope" section, not to spoil it, but in the "It Gave Me Hope" section, we're gonna talk about the survey results. So stick around for that.
We need to have "It Gave Me Depression" section, and then right after that, "It Gave Me Hope." To the 1-2 punch, because a lot of just the deep thoughts on this are oftentimes should be called "It Gave Me Depression."
That's what I'm saying. That's why we do "It Gave Me Hope" at the end.
But we need to have a designated "It Gave Me Depression."
Okay. Sure. If you want to do that, if you want to make the show a little more depressing, I guess we could do that.
Why not? So what are we on? Top stories. Josh, we're going to talk about how our goals have been going for our steps.
The steps
have been going for 2024.
Do you have you said you didn't really have anything super. No. What were you wanted to do more French, and you also wanted to finish your basement.
Do more French, finish the basement, and work on the game, the video game.
Oh, right.
Go through the Unity. So I hadn't done the. I have this idea for a game in my mind that is a very good idea for a game. And I've been thinking about this ever since the eclipse, Josh, that happened in Nashville like 6 years ago.
Yeah, that thing where the what was it?
The sun went over, or the moon went over the sun.
Whatever it was, it
made
it
full solar eclipse.
Dark outside for like a minute or two, and it was the trippiest thing. And then it got bright again.
So I had this epiphany for this game right around that time, and I was like looking up stuff on the internet. I was like, and I had several great ideas at that time too. And so I was looking up, do people find inspiration during solar eclipses? And this was like a common thing. It was like normal people. It wasn't like these weird, like little witchy people. It was like just normal people. I had this great idea. So anyways, all that to say, I had this idea, and I've been going through this Unity. There's like a 40-hour Unity free course that you can do on their website. So I've been going through that. I kind of took a little hiatus from doing that, Josh, because I played The Witness.
Oh, yes.
Which is a great puzzle game in the game I want to make as a bit of a puzzle game, and or aspects of it, Josh.
Sure.
And so I played that as research and played that for a week, beat it, and now I'm back into doing Unity again. And it is difficult when you've not done something for like 10 or 12 days, especially when it's building on itself.
I know.
So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I don't even care if I have to go back and redo 5. So I just went back and just watched like 10 of the lessons before, and then just jumped back in. So I'm in the middle of doing that now.
Okay. I have not started Unity yet, but I have started 3 of my other goal/step things. I started convict conditioning, which you gifted me for Christmas.
And
convict
it's
conditioning.
in black and white, Josh. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's in black and white.
Okay.
It bothers me. It just bothers me because mine's in color.
So this is basically for people that are in prison. A place I'm sure I'll land at some point.
We all will. Anybody who watches this podcast will land in prison at some point. So everybody get this book.
The supportblimeycow.com. It's the support group for future convicts.
It's a great book, though, for doing at-home workouts in a prison cell.
Right, without weights. You have to use your own body resistance. Anyways, so I'm just doing the 2 a week.
There's different in the back of the book, different schedules.
I'm doing the easy one just to get started. So I did pull-ups and squats, and I got started with that this week. And I'm just going to get that first one done to where I can do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which I think is like I have to do 20 push-ups twice. And these are like real push-ups. Not like where you actually have to have the correct form, get down to the bottom, get up, and do it slowly.
Yeah, it's like a 2 count going down, hold it for 1 count, 1 second, and then come up 2. It's very hard. Yeah. If you're keeping your whole body tense and everything.
I was able to do 7 or 8.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? After that, you're like, wow, if you actually do this correctly, it's crazy.
Yeah. One of the hardest things for me in terms of like getting started doing these kind of exercises is always feeling my form is not good. But the thing about it is you just have to get started. And once you start building that muscle just a little bit, it becomes easier because you start to feel like, oh, I can feel this in my core now.
Yeah, exactly.
Most exercises are just getting your core engaged to some degree.
Being able
to swinging things around.
Yeah. If you're not, I think that's the beauty of this book. He really, if you've read any of it, he really focuses on focus on what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Like you're not just pumping out push-ups. You're really thinking about it.
Well, the book has the schedule where it's like do it Monday through Monday and Friday. And I was like, well, I actually want to just start on the days that it says to do it in the book so I don't have to think about it. You know what I mean? So I've glanced through the sections, and especially, but it was nice too because if I had questions, I just looked and found where he explained things, and I was like, oh, this is nice because this looks like it's going to be like this like boot camp kind of thing, but it really is just like, look, you need to do a warm up, whatever works for you. Here's what works for me, but don't.
It's very hands off and hands on at the same time.
That's exactly what it is. So I'm excited about that, and I appreciate you got me that for Christmas. That's the first thing. Another thing that I wanted to do for 2024 was read 3 screenplays for movies that I love.
That's right.
So 2 of them have come already. I'm still waiting on Slumdog Millionaire to come.
You actually have to order them. You can't just read them online.
Well, I could, but I wanted to.
Oh, that's cool. It's actually in books.
I can't show you. Yeah, I know. They actually, for good movies, I can't show the title of this one. But it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. You probably recognize this. Inglorious.
B words.
Yeah.
But not the B word that you're thinking.
Yeah.
But the one that you're thinking.
This is one of my favorite movies.
I've never seen that, Josh.
You got to watch this movie.
I just don't understand the title. The title just turned me off.
Yeah.
So I was like, why wouldn't?
It's a great movie. If you only ever watch one Quentin Tarantino movie, watch that one.
I don't even know who that is.
He's just prolific director. He writes all of his movies.
Gotcha.
And then I got The Prestige, which is it's probably my favorite Christopher Nolan movie.
So what does this look like?
It's just
I got
that's
you.
what a
It looks
screenplay
like you're reading
like a play.
Yeah,
But a script, a screenplay is a little bit different than the way a play is set up. So I'm waiting on Slumdog Millionaire to come, and I'm also waiting for The Godfather to come because I wanted one of my screenplays that I read to be a movie I have not seen that is known to be a classic. So I've always meant to watch Godfather, and so I'm gonna do that. Anyways, and then the last thing was that I wanted to get into the mode of playing at least one new board game.
Yeah, I was excited to see how that was going.
So I'll actually, not to give it away, but I will be talking about this in the recommended section of
Leaf.
Oh yeah, really great game. So we'll talk more about that game during the recommended section.
Cool.
But I'm super excited about that. It's called Leaf. Okay, so that's about it.
Wow.
2024 making the goals be things like that are tangible, not like write a screenplay or play 50 games this year, change my life. Just like what's, or just doing getting up to 20 push-ups. I can get up to 20 push-ups. It'll probably take me a while, especially doing this where you only do push-ups like once a week. But I can feel it. I didn't even go too hard, and I can already feel it in my arms. I was pretty. I think I was pretty out of shape. I've kind of fluctuated, but I haven't done any sort of strength training at all in a while. So, all right, question of the week. I think you're gonna like this, Jordan.
Let's do it.
All right, Jordan. Last week's question. What was it?
Yeah, I came up with the question: would you rather have a secret underground mansion or a huge treehouse mansion? I always try and do 50-50 with the split, and we did, guys. We got 58% said have a secret underground mansion and have a huge underground treehouse mansion. Have a huge treehouse mansion. 42%.
That's now the split. I'm happy with. I'm surprised it leaned towards underground.
Dude, I think that what is so hilarious is before 2020, this would have been madly just treehouse mansion. I mean, it would have been 85%.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Look, I'm happy with that.
I think I've been thinking about this. Anytime there's a movie where people are stuck underground, it makes me feel claustrophobic. It doesn't matter how big of a space they're in. I'm like, man, I would hate not being able to see outside. So I don't think I would enjoy it no matter how big it was. So I will enjoy my above ground treehouse until convict conditioning comes into play.
Well, in the meantime, you can just come visit my underground.
Yeah, and I'll come visit yours. I mean, this
we can
is
have the best of both worlds.
This is already my plan anyway. It's like, look, if things go to H, we'll all go feed the chickens at Jordan's house.
That would have to be the plan. It really would.
We'll all go live inside of the doghouse.
Yeah, and the dogs are enjoying that now. They've gotten used to it, so that's good. I've been doing a little bit more research about the Mark Zuckerberg underground $300 million thing.
Yeah.
And it's scaring me more.
There's a lot of guys that are...
I've noticed.
The rich guys that are buying these bunkers now.
Yeah, but this one is like... my theory was that he saw the same YouTube videos that I did of people building underground stuff like in their backyards and thought it was cool, but he has like $100 trillion.
Right.
But
you're backtracking on that theory?
A little bit. Not all the way, but a little bit. So we'll see what happens. It's just weird that they're all finishing at the same time.
All right. What's this week's question?
I don't remember. Oh, yes. Would you rather have fried eggs or scrambled eggs?
Okay. Yeah. Again, I don't want to say... Huh?
What do you think it's going to be, Josh? 50-50 split?
50-50? I suspect scrambled is going to win. Do people eat eggs?
They're scared it's going to kill them. It's a guilty pleasure, Josh. They don't want to get heart disease.
Because of the cholesterol?
The heart disease. They don't know what causes it. They just think, I'm going to die if I eat too many eggs.
Well, look, just don't eat eggs. Make sure that your Coke is Diet Coke with 0 calories.
And it won't spike your blood sugar, so you'll be okay.
Does Diet Coke not spike your blood sugar?
No.
Really?
It doesn't have sugar in it. So that is the
doesn't.
No, that'll kill you slowly in a different way. That'll mess up your brain. But look, if you're just addicted to Coke, yeah, do Diet Coke. Like Just do that.
Just so you're not gaining weight.
So you're not. So then you can figure out a way to stop doing that. But like immediately, it doesn't taste that different. Just do that and then figure it out later.
Whenever I'm talking to somebody and I'm like, so what did you do to lose weight? They've lost a lot of weight. They're like, well, first thing I had to take out the Cokes. And I was like, oh, right. That's a thing for most people. I've never.
Dude, you're at a party and people and you feel like, people like us, you're like, okay, which dessert do I want? And I will have that one, and that's it. And you're having this, you're thinking about this. Well, then you see other people, and they've gotten a bunch of different desserts, but then, which is fine, whatever. But then when you see after that, like an hour later, then they're getting Cokes. Then 3 hours later, they're getting more.
That Coke is a dessert.
Yeah, it's like people just don't understand. They don't see it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just get rid of that. Even if you have to just do diet, I can't believe I'm saying this. Even if you just switch to Diet Coke,
just for a little bit, just
like
risk the dementia in the aspartame just for a little bit. Promise, you're saving like 700 calories a day.
Just the amount of sugar that you're having is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what are we on next?
Christian
meme review.
Jordan, I have a couple of memes.
I noticed that you pulled 2 out.
I wasn't confident, so I decided to. I was editing last week's episode, and I was like, geez, Jordan's right. This is a short segment.
It is. I was like, look, we're just going to do 2 and see how we like it.
All right, check it out.
Oh, no, there's Jolene.
Oh, hurry up. She's going to talk to us about God.
Oh, no, just go. Just go.
You'll never guess what God did.
What?
What?
You never guess what God did? I think my second one is just a picture.
Found my new favorite shirt to wear to church. Sorry, ladies, I'm already like a brother to someone else. Yeah. You should have been more confident in those, Josh. I thought those were pretty good.
Thank you.
I don't remember what mine are.
Let's take a look. What?
Yeah. We already did this one.
We may or may not have recorded a Christian meme review where we saw this meme.
Okay. It's funny, though.
It is funny.
Now people will be, is this coming out first?
Yes.
People will see my reaction, and for people who have watched this, you'll see how
That's why you watch the podcast.
it was amazing how I acted like I didn't see that before.
Okay. You fooled me.
This is just Spanish. I don't know what this says, but I just thought this was awesome. This isn't even a Christian meme.
That is a Christian meme because
he's being raised from the dead.
Only the Lord could make a person that flexible to pull off something like that. That is amazing.
Thought that was great.
This was a great Christian meme review segment, and now it's over.
Hey, Jordan and Josh, I have a part-time job at a college coffee shop. And we hired this girl who is also in college, and her and I kind of hit it off. We get along great and enjoy spending time together. There's only one thing that I'm having a hard time with. She is significantly taller than me. I'd like to believe that I'm someone who is not totally guided by physical preferences, but I have to accept that it bothers me. My biggest insecurity in life is feeling small, weak, insufficient, unintelligent, etc. He's a complete downer about himself. Height is something that bears a physical representation of that insecurity. I've grown up being the shortest person in most friend groups, and it's always made me feel like a little kid, which is the worst feeling in the world to me. If I date her, it would feel like being with someone this is going on for too long, Josh.
I cut it down.
Oh, thank God. If I date her, it would feel like being with someone that proves those insecurities to be true. And I just have a hard time with that idea. Am I being unreasonable? How important is that kind of physical preference do I need to get over? And what do I do?
How tall do you think this
How
guy
many
is?
questions can one question have?
He's insecure. He's worried. He's like, it's not a good. I got to really pump this up with questions. How tall do you think this guy is? What do you think the height is on this guy?
I think he's. He's probably 5'4".
That's exactly what I was gonna say. 5'4".
Yeah, and
100%.
Because I don't know.
He's like 5'1".
It's even worse. I have a respect for people because I understand this. I feel like I would feel the same way in some respect. So. Whenever I see a guy who is not even, who cares about the shortness of the person in my mind, but who is with a woman who is like, you know, a tall woman.
A tall woman.
And it doesn't matter to him. It's like they're just they're clearly married.
Yeah, it's respect.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, it gives me hope.
Yeah.
Is what it does.
Yeah.
It gives me hope.
This guy gives himself depression.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're giving yourself depression, whereas you could be giving yourself hope by your attitude.
I think that he needs to find some sort of skill or hobby that he can get really, really good at. That when I read this, that was the first thing that came to my head. He needs to like get really good at carpentry, or like
He needs something.
woodworking. What's that thing with the metal that you wanted to learn how to do?
Welding?
Welding. He needs to become a
Just
good
get
welder.
Good at a trade.
Yeah, something where
A manly trade.
Yeah, something where it doesn't matter how tall or short you are when you do it. And I'm telling you, just having the confidence to be like, I'm not very tall, but the things I'm good at, you know I'm better at than most people.
Right.
And so on some level, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm not the tallest guy, but at least I can do this thing. I don't have to be tall for that.
I think you're right. I think this does not come down to his height. It comes down to he doesn't feel like he's good at any one thing.
Yeah.
You need some form of direction.
It's because of his attitude towards himself in general, because of his height, that it's a vicious cycle, man. It's a vicious cycle. He feels like he's inadequate because of his height, and so he doesn't do anything. And because he doesn't do anything, he really does feel inadequate, and he thinks it's because of his height, but it's not.
It's a spiral.
It's a spiral, man. It's a freaking spiraling out. He's gonna freak out. I think it would make me feel weird if Kelly was a little taller than me. That would bother me a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Imagine if she was 5 inches taller than you, right? Like, what happens then? Would you still be together?
Yeah, of course, but it would
Okay,
just
there you go.
It would just be weird.
Well, this guy needs to get over.
Is that
it,
wrong? Is that sexist?
I don't know. No, I think that's just human nature.
I mean, I guess
for
it's
some
just in
reason.
general, guys are taller than girls. So if the girl
It's
you're
just
with
out of
is,
the ordinary.
yeah, you just feel like, but why is it like I should be taller? I guess
I
because you
don't
feel
know.
like you're the protector.
Maybe.
Like I can't protect this woman. She's towering over me.
I don't know. Who knows, man? But you just
If we played basketball, she would dominate
win.
me.
She would win. Just get over it and be with the girl and inspire me. Inspire me.
Send us a picture when you guys get together.
Yeah. Take our advice, send us a picture, we'll put it on the show. Josh, I got some crazy clips now.
Here we go.
We got a clip emailed to us.
Another clip. This one is from Savannah. You got to see this.
What on earth?
Dude, isn't that crazy? The tweet says, a demonstration of how the horizontal component of velocity remains constant.
Well, I just saw a tweet of somebody, it was this logic thing where it was like, well, what happens if you're on a diving board and you bounce while you're driving on top of a truck and the pool is on top of the truck? What would happen? And it's like, well, it's like you're not moving. You'd be like this. It's the theory of relativity, right? They're all moving.
Yeah.
And so their frame of reference is moving. So if she jumps,
But if you're on a truck,
or if you bounce, you're still moving. Because like
yeah.
if you're just standing there, it's not like if you're standing there and then you're up in the air. It's not like you're moving 0 miles an hour.
Okay.
You're moving 70 miles an hour with the truck, and then when you're in the air, you're moving 70 miles an hour with the truck. Still,
I guess that's true. Okay.
like the truck has.
In my mind,
helped
somehow
you.
you have to be jumping like this way. Like,
No, you would just jump straight up.
all right. Well, this kind of proves.
Well, the wind would knock you around a little bit.
Yeah.
But in a perfect system, you would be moving with the truck.
Okay.
This was weird. It's a kind of fluid, a non-Newtonian fluid. The harder
What
you press,
in
the
the
more resistant
world?
it becomes. What? Somebody who's smarter than me. What is the application for this? Obviously, there's a serious application for this.
Wow, that's
for
weird.
hydraulics or something. I don't know. I just want to. I want to understand it more. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, I want to know what this is for. That's very interesting. That's very cool.
Eminem died at 50.
I'll bleep this.
No way!
Oh my god, put on CP24. Denzel Washington reported dead at 67? What?
Dad, Bon Jovi dead at 60.
Shut your mouth. You're lying. If you're
line, you're not getting anything for Christmas, and I'm gonna throw that rat into the woods.
Not that thirsty.
Oh my god.
What?
Dave Matthews dead at age 55. Oh my god. Did you see John Travolta passed away?
No.
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 Don't say that to him. No.
Dude, imagine caring this much about celebrities.
I know.
No, he didn't die.
No.
He didn't die. No. What? He died? Did he really die? No.
Oh my god, Dad. Tiger Woods dead at 46.
What?
Tiger Woods dead at 46.
Is this the
It's on
same girl
news.
every time?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, seriously, it's on the news.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
see. The TikTok
Oh my gosh.
trend.
Yes.
Mom, Celine Dion dead in plane crash.
No.
Dead at 54.
She's 58.
No, she's 54.
That's not true.
She knows
Celine
your
Dion
age off
dead
the
in
top
plane
of her head.
crash.
No, that's not can't be true.
It's on global
It's
news.
someone else. It must be someone else.
That's
Just kidding.
58.
Wow. Listen to this. Kate Winslet dead at 47.
What?
Yeah, overdose.
Snoop Dogg died at 51.
Stop it.
And why mom upset about Snoop Dogg?
Don't. You're joking. Don't off. Don't.
Don't kill the whole one. I mean,
Oh my God, Donald Trump dead, 76 years old.
get out!
Heart attack.
No!
Oh my god. Bon Jovi dead at 60.
Alexa, did Bon Jovi die?
Oh my gosh.
Jesus was seen.
Where, Rachel?
Oh my god.
Show me to me, please. Send it to me, Rachel.
He was literally seen in Ohio.
Please send it to me. Oh, now, please.
What in the world?
Oh my god.
Dude, this does just not give you hope. Also, everything in this is predicated that everybody was in front of a screen. Every single
Right.
one, they were like in front of a screen,
Yeah.
just
Oh, you're
interacting with
kidding.
each other, and then they were just filming this.
Yeah.
It's just kind of sad,
All right.
actually.
Wow, that crazy clips took a turn.
It was hilarious to me, and then at the end, I was like, "Wow, everyone's just sitting on a couch on their phone," and then the daughter is like,
Yeah,
like, what's
Bon
going
Jovi
on?
died. Oh man. Wow. Who would we if we did that to mom and dad, who would we? Mac
would.
Powell from Third Day.
"Matt Powell died, plane crash, dead." You're exactly right. That's who we would say. Yeah.
All right. Good times on the crazy clips ish. All right. Let's do NPC update. All right, Jordan, this NPC update is a little different than normal because I, too, am a little bit of an NPC in this one. So this was
Okay.
the Star Wars controversy that broke this week. So did you know that they're making a new Star Wars trilogy of films that are going to be based around Rey, the girl from the sequel trilogy?
No.
All right, so they're going to make these new movies, and the woman who's going to direct them is named Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. And this is what she said. Listen to this.
You know, I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create is something very special. And we're in 2024 now. And I think it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape the story in a galaxy far, far away.
It's just so cringy.
I know. So,
like, even if you feel that way, why would you say that?
I know. Well, okay. Yeah, before we get into everything else, like what if when the movie is not good? Then what? Now it's like, oh, but it was a woman made it.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
You're
it's like
shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, it's like, but then too, this is what was funny. So anytime any Star Wars fans complain about anything, they say, "Oh, you're just sexist. You hate women," and
because of Rey in the movie.
Sure, yeah,
Oh.
Rey. You know, any thousands of reasons.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy runs Star Wars. You hate women. She's in charge of Star Wars. The lady who runs Lucasfilm. Just any number of reasons. You know, you can't just legitimately be frustrated with the state of Star Wars right now.
I got you.
But this is why it was funny, because a lot of the Star Wars fans that got annoyed with this, it was like, in order to explain why this annoyed you, you sort of had to prove you weren't sexist, because everybody kind of got to quickly say, no, what about this woman? What about this woman who was involved with Star Wars? And this one. And it's like, all these sexist Star Wars fans didn't have a problem with any of these other people. Like, for example, it's just kind of a very ignorant thing to say, because George Lucas's ex-wife back in the 70s, she edited the original movie. And famously, the movie was saved in the edit. Like, the movie didn't
I heard about this.
Yeah, the movie didn't come together until the end. She saved the movie. It's like, no, clearly she doesn't know anything about Star Wars if she thinks that, oh, well, finally we got a woman in charge of things. Now, what she means is that they've got a woman directing one of the Star Wars movies. And they've had women direct the Star Wars TV shows in the past a bunch. Not that any of them were any good.
But still, it is a little weird to point out that you're the first female to do that.
Right. Because it's like, now your movie's got to be good, which it's not going to be, because I don't think Disney is capable of allowing a good Star Wars movie to be made. And I don't, with this attitude, I don't think she's going to be the one to make it anyway. But it was just so anyway. So a lot of people got frustrated with it, and I was one of the NPCs who was just like, to me, it was just further proof, like definitively to say that Star Wars is not run by serious people anymore. It's just run by people who it's more about how it makes you look. Star Wars is a platform to elevate you rather than
like your brand, your company in some way.
Yeah, it's like, well, what can we do with Star Wars? How can we make it our Star Wars?
That's like what she said.
Yeah, it's just so dumb.
Again, it feels like it's about the person. That's just like art today. It's about the person making the art, not necessarily about the art itself.
Right. It's about admiring beauty and like observing beauty and trying to capture it. Not like, what can I say? What do I have to say? And even when I create stuff, I'm thinking about it kind of that way, and so it's a good reminder for me too. Like, don't be this way. Don't, like when you make something, you want to put your spin on it. But when it comes to something like as universally beloved as Star Wars, something that you should understand has some like mythical importance, because it has touched so many people. Like there's clearly something spiritual to it.
Yeah.
Then it's not just like, oh, I'm so happy that finally a woman gets to be in charge of it. And it's like, no, women have been controlling this thing in a way since the start, and the fact that you don't know that is proof that your thing is not going to be good anyway. So why attach a whole sex to it?
It reminds me of like when the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings was being filmed, and like everybody on set was so into this. Everybody had read the books, loved the books growing up, had it almost memorized. And then the guy that they had originally hired for Aragorn was just like not into it really. And people, and like Gandalf, the guy who plays Gandalf, I don't know his name, but he was like,
Ian McKellen,
do you even want to be here?
Yeah.
And the guy was just being such a butt. And so they fired him, and that's when Aragorn came.
Viggo Mortensen?
Yeah, and he just like lights out like everything. They actually, when they filmed the scene of seeing Strider in the corner, he wasn't even there. They had to record that later.
I remember hearing this. Yeah, so he was replaced during filming.
Yeah, wow. And they were desperately looking for somebody. It's very interesting.
Dude, they'll never be... not for a long time probably, unless this whole Hollywood system kind of collapses and can rebuild. But Lord of the Rings might have been one of the last times we got something special like that.
And all of those people, it wasn't about them. It was about the art of what somebody else had done. It literally, you didn't hear anybody say anything like this back then.
Well, you had to think too, like they had to have thought they were getting away with something. They're like, this isn't gonna be popular. Somehow we got all the money to do this. So let's just make it as good as possible. Yeah. There was the way that people are with Star Wars now, the people who are on Star Wars, it's like in their heads they think Star Wars is always going to be popular. Where
Yes.
a lot of people are like me now, and it's literally like when they announce new Star Wars stuff, I'm like, I don't trust you. I don't even think of it as Star Wars. I think that somebody stole Star Wars. Well, I did want to show you one more thing because I want to lead right into the conspiracy theory segment. I want you to take a look at this. I found
Has the conspiracy theory segment gone off now?
No, not yet. Not yet. We're getting there.
I'm
We're getting
editing
there.
this week,
Hang
so I'm
tight.
trying to do
I
mental
see.
gymnastics where I'm putting that
I'll
in.
tell you when it comes
Okay.
in. This is the lady who's directing this movie who's so proud to be the first woman ever to do anything with Star Wars of all time. Check this out. In 2017, Obey Chinoy became the first artist to co-chair the World Economic Forum. And that's where you put the conspiracy theory intro. Jordan, does it feel to you the way that it feels to me, where it's like they're just trying to hollow out any sort of myth or story that had any sort of impact on our culture and just kind of like commercialize it and kill it in a way where it's like they just have this assumption that it's always going to be popular. So as long as it's always going to be popular, let's put our spin on it.
Or are they just intentionally just destroying it?
Yeah. That's how I
But how could a big company like Disney?
I've seen the criticism that any time they try to like revitalize an old brand like Star Wars or Indiana Jones, what do they always do? Whoever the hero is, he's like this washed up old man who has to be taught by the younger generation.
Of course.
How things need to be. He has to instead of a Luke Skywalker or a Indiana Jones being the elder statesman, who has already had his arc and is now going to help guide the arc of the younger characters. The younger characters don't get arcs. They're just kind of they're right.
Yeah.
And the arc belongs to the people who already learned their lesson. We got to teach these old people the way of the world.
Yeah, you're so right. Back in the day, you know, our parents, Christian parents, would be worried about their kids, us watching stuff that was like, you know, this is really pushing going behind your parents' back.
Yeah.
Like, so
bad attitudes.
Are we gonna watch Home Alone? Probably not, because like the kids kind of got this bad attitude.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been left behind at home anyway. That was dumb of him to do.
Yeah, right.
We don't need that attitude.
No. So, but now, you know, Josh, you as a parent, now you've got it's like, wow, the agendas that you have to fill, they're not so obvious.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this story is they're just constantly saying, hey, child, you're right. Teach your parents what you know.
Honestly, it, in a way, because you're right, but it makes it easier because all this stuff sucks now. Like when we were growing up, I'm sure Rugrats was a fun show. I'm sure, you know, I mean, Power Rangers was a dumb show, and it was like, oh, don't watch that; it's too violent.
Right.
And you go back and watch Power Rangers now; it's like the corniest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. But it was meant to be corny. This stuff is supposed to be like, they think that it's serious.
Yeah.
They don't realize they're not serious people. They're just making corny stuff that's like just as corny as Christian movies. You know what I mean?
It is a little worrying though, because kids that are so young, they don't know what good is yet. So if their perception is this is good and they're not exposed to real art, they're just watching what people are watching now.
And this is the thing too. When we were growing up, there was maybe 20 or 30 years of good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because movies kind of started coming into their own in like the 40s or 50s. So we were growing up in the 80s or 90s. There were only a few decades of stuff, and a lot of it was in black and white.
Yeah. And that's
Isn't
pretty
that
much
weird
what
to
we
think
watched.
about?
Yeah.
But so now like our kids growing up, they have you know, the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s. There's years and years, and so I can pick and say, hey, here was the best stuff. And, you know, not all of this is going to be like, you know, it doesn't even have to like be the most like, oh, this is the most morally upright thing. But this is like a good movie. And we can talk about the ideas in it because maybe not all of them are perfect.
Yeah.
But this is good. You know what I mean? Like this is these are people who loved what they were doing and knew what they were doing and made something good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a little worried about art in general because then when you're in college and stuff, if they're pushing these things as more of like these agendas, and that's why they like the movies, like the professors who are doing film criticism or whatever, they would say that these are actually great movies. And so there's like a generation of people who have been blinded because they've only watched bad, stupid things. Like, for instance, there's this one show that I've barely watched, and I'm not going to finish it.
Okay.
But it's called Emily in Paris. Just a terrible show.
Okay.
Just so stupid. Like the worst. And I was watching it because I'm trying to learn French. And so I'm like, okay, this is like of a girl in Paris. And I quickly realized this is just a morally bad show. But like it's like enough where it's like, okay, but I am able to.
Is it like a CW kind of show, like teen drama kind of thing? Okay.
But I guess this show, but it's also just bad. Like it's just not. It's just a cringy show. But I guess the show is like extremely popular.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what? Like to the point that people are actually going to Paris because they're so inspired by this stupid show.
Oh, I see. So you feel like you guys are missing something if you think this is good.
Yeah, like they objectively think that
yeah.
this is good, and it scares me.
I gotcha. I don't think it can.
It actually got an Emmy. It was like an Emmy. It got like nominated for an Emmy. I was like, how?
I don't
think this.
I don't think that this can. I don't think this is sustainable.
No, I don't either. But I think there's going to be two genres. There are two arts. There's going to be for the stupid people who have been brainwashed to believe that Emily in Paris is actually good.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be the rest of us. And movies aren't going to get these like huge audiences because the stupid people cannot comprehend why that movie is good because they've been watching Netflix specials constantly. And so there's not going to be like a huge like highest grossing movie of all time.
Right. Well, this is kind of a tangent, I guess, but after this year, who knows how many theaters are going to be left because that's the COVID and then the strikes. There are no movies coming out. So like, I just went to the Regal website. I really want to go see the Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to get to the theater. It's hard getting to the theater when you have kids. But I saw them advertising on the thing, some college game. They're gonna stream on and I was like, yeah, that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to do sports and concerts, like the T-Swift stuff, like Beyonce.
Wow, interesting.
They're gonna be doing all kinds of stuff trying to stay in business. So, but yeah, by the end of this year, you're right. I mean, theaters might not exist in the same way, and then
everything's gonna be low budget movies. Like,
but I think that's gonna be good. I think that's gonna be good. I think that you have periods where all the movies are bad, and then you have kind of a resurgence, a renaissance where the movies get good again. And that, that might last for 10 years, 15 years, and then they get cocky and they think that everyone's just going to watch whatever drivel they put on the screen. And people do for a while because they feel like they don't have choices. But now all people have are choices. Mm-hmm. So when things blow up, I mean, not in the example of this Paris show you're talking about, but a lot of times when shows on Netflix or elsewhere get popular, like go viral, it's like a show like Squid Game or something, which is like, maybe not objectively a great show, but it's as close as you can get. Like I thought it was great. Yeah. Stranger Things. I don't really like Stranger Things, but I get why people like it. So anyways, I don't know. I do think there's a concerted effort to hollow out these things, but I also think that maybe that's a good thing because it's like it's putting a spotlight on, wow, they killed every franchise. It's like they're trying to do it. Mm-hmm. And so, but that's fine. Like, why do there need to be 1,000 Star Wars movies? Why do there need to be 1,000 James Bond movies? Why do there need to be 1,000 Indiana Jones movies? Right. Just let the thing die. Enjoy the good ones and build something else.
No one's building anything else.
Build new things.
Yeah.
Build new things.
Good segment. What was that under?
That was a conspiracy theory.
Oh, conspiracy theories.
I don't think that's a theory. I think that's pretty self-evident at this point.
Yeah.
And this woman's working at the World Economic Forum, and now she's gonna be the first woman to ruin a Star Wars. So many men have come before her to direct bad Star Wars movies, and now it's her turn to direct bad. I'm not sexist. I think there's plenty of men who have made terrible Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams has made terrible Star Wars movies. He really hasn't. That is a dude. So, all right. It gave me hope.
Great. This is the section I was looking forward to.
You ready for this?
Yes.
All right. So last week we put out a survey asking people for their input and opinions about the podcast and to get to know a little bit more about you. So the first question was, how often do you check out the podcast? So the options were, I never miss the show, I watch most episodes, but I might have missed a few, or I listen when I can. 60% of people said they never miss the show.
Oh, wow.
28%. 60%.
Wow.
But, obviously these are the people that are going to fill out the survey.
Yeah.
So 28% of people said they watch most of them, and then 12% said they watch when they can. I thought this was funny. Which best describes you? 98%. I've watched for years and really enjoy the podcast. And then there was less than 2%. I found your channel because of the podcast.
Oh, that's funny.
So there you go. All right. No peeking at this next page, okay? How do you enjoy the show? Most people, 86% watch the full episodes on the Blimey Cow channel. 11% watch Blimey Cow and Blimey Cow clips, and then less than 1%, I guess that would be. No, less than 3% or 4%. Just watch the clips.
Okay.
And then, do you watch the show or listen to the show? This was actually
This is what I was.
Yeah, this was decently split. So 44% said a little of this, a little of that. 38% said they watch it, and 18% said I listen while I do other things.
38% just straight up sit and watch it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow,
Hello.
that is high. Thank you. That's nice.
All right, Jordan. Any other thoughts about that before we go to the segment rankings?
No, I don't. What do you mean segment rankings?
So I asked people. Yeah,
let's get to that.
Okay, so you didn't have to. It wasn't like you could just pick 3. You could literally. I put out all the segments, and you could just check as many of them as you want.
Okay.
Which are your favorites? What do you think was the number 1 before I go through the list?
Probably. If I pull out my
I'll give you a hint. It is something we've done in this episode or are going to do.
I'll say it's conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Or deep thoughts.
Okay. 47% of people who responded said they like the weekly prophecy. So that was number 10. 50%, one out of every 2 said they liked the top stories.
Okay.
52% said question of the week. So that's nice.
That's interesting.
53% said crazy clips.
Wow.
They love, crazy clips did well. This one surprised me. Good news, bad news, 60%.
That is surprising.
I know, me too. Deep thoughts was 65% of respondents. It gave me hope was 68% of respondents. And then Old Faithful, the Messyge, was 71% of respondents. And then Christian Meme Review was 75% of respondents. 77%
What's left?
Conspiracy theories.
There we go. I knew it. That's the age that we're in, guys.
That's where we're all at.
Thank you. We will be hammering down on that even more then. We'll do conspiracy theory segment, then the conspiracy theory segment 2, then conspiracy theory, and we'll just the whole episode will be
podcast.
and we'll just morph it to that.
So there you go. Thank you guys for filling that out for us. We really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you.
All right. You ready to recommend some stuff?
I am.
All right.
I've been watching a show called The Foods That Built America.
Okay.
And it is a very, very interesting show all about places like McDonald's, how they got started.
Oh,
Campbell's Soup.
Is it on
Burger
Netflix?
King. No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. It's a History Channel show that is on the library streaming service Canopy.
Oh, right.
So I found that on there. Yeah. And so I've been watching that, and it's a very, very interesting show. Interestingly, we see these companies like McDonald's and or White Castle, and we just think, man, they just had bad intentions, like just trying to make crappy
little family
food.
businesses.
Yeah, and especially with Campbell's Soup, they put all sorts of crap in their stuff now.
They do, yeah.
But the intentions of the people back then was like, hey, look, we're going through the Great Depression. People need calories. We need to figure out a way to get people stuff that's not perishable because no one has refrigeration.
Right.
To be able, and so they made these ingenious ways that to give people food, chips, things like this. Like, how do you package that to make it not go bad and spoil?
man.
to get across the country.
Maybe a good idea for a minute there, but
That's what I'm saying. So it was actually very inspiring and gave you that American spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was telling Sarah as we were watching, I was like, it's also so sad because this was like the beginning of the end.
yeah.
But they didn't know that back then. Like, sure, maybe there was some greed involved with Burger King versus McDonald's and stuff, but you know, they were making food that was readily available to people who didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they could go out and have a nice meal. It was actually a good quality food back then.
Yeah.
And now the greed took over.
Right.
And now it's like, well, I don't care if we have to, if it's high fructose corn syrup, I don't care.
Right.
I'm going to turn a blind eye. I'm going to turn a blind
yeah.
eye. Maybe this is hurting people. I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't
like,
know, but we'll save a cent on every fry.
Can we do it cheaper without anybody telling the difference?
And that's all that
by
matters.
taste.
As soon as it turned to that, that's when it all started to go
Yeah.
downhill. And people, they didn't catch on. And now it's like, well, now we just trust these brands. We trust
Right.
Campbell's, you know?
Yeah.
So now people are kind of waking up, and so
Right.
hopefully
It's taking a
it'll
while.
shift because
Yeah.
it made me so sad because it was like, dude, I want to go to these places. Like the struggle between Domino's and Pizza Hut was such a great episode because Domino's and Pizza Hut were the originals. Like they literally popularized pizza to the world. It was so interesting. And I was like, dude, back then the ingredients were actually good. Like they had the infrastructure back then to put good ingredients in this stuff. And it was enjoyed by, I would go to McDonald's if it was like that. I'm no problem. I'd love it. So it just made me, it made me sad actually.
It's the same thing as Star Wars. It's like, if you walk into a McDonald's now, it's not, it's got the name on it. It's the building. But it's not the same people.
Yeah, it's hijacked, and it is sad. I was like, dude, I would love to get Campbell's condensed soup. What a genius idea!
Right.
You take the water out so you can ship it, and it doesn't cost as much.
Yeah.
That opened up soup to be shipped all around the world.
Yeah.
Once they did that, because before Heinz had the soups pre-made in these huge things with all the water in it, it'd go bad. Blah blah blah. This really made them be able to expand and do all sorts of stuff. I
gotta check out this show.
It's really great.
My recommendation is this game that I teased earlier.
That's right.
It's called Leaf. There's this type of game called a tile laying game where you have tiles and you put them, and it's kind of like a puzzly sort of game. Well, this game is sort of like that. Like the tiles are leaves and you're connecting the leaves to each other, and the different colors are different actions that you take. So when you pick a leaf to play, you're trying to touch the tips. And depending on what colors you're touching, that means I get to take this card, or I get to do this action, or I get these points. So you're always getting points and doing stuff in different ways, and collecting animals, and it's just a really fun game.
How do people come up with this stuff?
I don't know. I was very impressed. It was a quick playing, fun game. We really liked it. It was a great first game of 2024 to start off my play a game every week.
Easy to learn or not?
Very easy to learn.
Okay, good.
Quick tutorial video will explain it very well. We loved it. That one's called Leaf. Pick it up. Check it out.
Check it out. Are we at the end of the show now?
That is the end of the program.
See, I wanted to, my spiel about McDonald's and all these places, I wanted that to be like its own segment.
I see.
But I didn't know where to put
Well,
that. So we just said we recommend.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If you think about it some more and you want to talk more about that, we'll do it next week.
I'm not even halfway through the show.
Okay, we'll talk about that. I had a deep thought too that I could have shared. So
okay.
we'll do it next week if you want.
Okay.
Okay?
Really, I want to go to McDonald's after watching that. Or Burger King.
Go get a salad.
Oh,
you know what? McDonald's don't even sell salads.
Don't eat their salads. They're junky. It's like seriously, it's one of the worst things you can eat. You know why? Because it's no protein, and so the dressing that they put on that spikes your blood sugar like insane. It's one of the highest sugar content things on the entire menu.
When I say go get a salad, I always mean get a salad without dressing on it.
Well, what are you gonna? How do you do that?
Mustard. I always put mustard on my salads. I go to Cracker Barrel. I'm like, hey, could I get the dressing on the side, and could you bring me some mustard? That's what I do.
All right, to each his own, Josh.
What else are you gonna do?
I don't get the salad. I just get the burger because at least it's got meat.
Yeah.
I'm over the salad stuff, dude. I'm gone full carnivore, but not really. But
I went to Cracker Barrel the other day. I got the nice chicken salad.
Oh, that's always look okay. If you got the chicken on it, then you don't even need salad dressing.
I'm not talking about the salad.
I thought you were like getting
I want the greens. No, I wanted meat. I just didn't want. I didn't want fried chicken.
You were looking for what
and I didn't want bread.
You were looking for a method to have the meat.
Yeah,
that's what you're trying.
Yeah, and you put mustard on top of it, just like anybody could enjoy a mustard on their chicken. It's not crazy.
No, it's not. It's not crazy.
And I got grilled chicken.
You know what is the best thing at McDonald's? And then this show will end. The crispy chicken sandwich, McDonald's.
It is good.
It's ungodly.
It's good. Just go get one.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go and get a Whopper from Burger King because it's large and at least they actually.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Let's go to Burger King.
Sure. They at least like cook it on a with smoke.
I love Whoppers. Wait, is it called a Whopper?
Yeah,
at Burger
Whopper.
King?
Home of the Whopper.
Home of the Whopper. I would love to get a Whopper.
I've never had one.
They're delicious. They are delicious. At least they were 15, 20 years ago.
I wonder how much a Whopper is now. We'll check it out. Tell me the Whopper is only $5.69.
That's just a Whopper. There's no French fries or anything.
Oh, okay.
How much protein?
You can get a triple Whopper.
How much protein we pack in a Whopper? Let's see. Let's see if we can find the nutritional. Here we go. 31 grams of protein. That's good.
Wow.
54 carbs.
Wow. Wait, go back. I want to see if there's like a triple Whopper. Yeah, the triple Whopper is only $8.09. What the heck?
3 burgers.
That's going to be 90.
3 burgers is probably...
They're going to be thinner, though.
That's the width of a normal burger.
Okay, so I'll say that's going to be 50 grams of protein. 55.
72.
Jeez, man.
Oh, dude, we got to go hit this one.
Wait, you're
up.
telling me I could be out and get 72 grams of protein?
Yeah, but
with a triple Whopper.
Was this even a cow? I mean, at some point, maybe it like existed as a cow, but did it have a good life? Was it just trapped in a corner, squished up against other cows, crying and stressed?
Yeah, but so was I'm sure that the ones at Five Guys are the same. That's the thing. But
at least those cows know they're going to a Five Guys when they die.
That's true, Josh.
At least it's a dignified death.
If you want to go, you know why at Gabby's why they're more expensive? Because they're actually grass fed there.
I know.
At Gabby's. That's why it's $15 for a burger.
Local place in town called Gabby's. It's very good.
I want to go there.
All right.
I guess that's it.
Okay.
That kind of went long, but
the end.